Good morning, good morning. Rev here. It is Thursday. It is August the 12th. I hope you're safe and well and blessed this morning. We've gotten some higher temperatures and it's gotten hot again, hasn't it? And humid. So I hope you're staying cool. I hope you're safe and well and blessed this morning. I'm going to read just one verse to you. This is from 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 9. Now, this is, I don't do this real often, but this is from the Living Bible. We saw how powerless we were to help ourselves, but that was good, for then we put everything into the hands of God, who alone could save us, for he can even raise the dead. And may God add his blessing to the reading and hearing of his word this morning. You've probably all heard the old story about the guy that falls off of a cliff and he's hanging there on a branch and he hollers out, "Is there anybody up there?" And he hears a voice that says, "Yes." He said, "Can you save me?" The voice says, "Yes." He says, "Let go of the branch." And he hollers out, "Is there anybody else up there?" When it comes to God, are you sold out the whole route? Are you totally surrendered? Or are you just partially surrendered? It's easy to say that we're totally surrendered, but when push comes to shove, a lot of times when issues arise in our lives, we think we can handle them ourselves. We're not good at asking for help. We know we need help, but we don't want to admit it. And so we try to do things ourselves. But I need you to listen to me this morning. Once you admit that you need help, you can ask God for it. You can. Now, it's moving from confession to petition. At one point in his life, the Apostle Paul was so discouraged that he was ready to give up on life. In fact, he said this: "It was so bad that we didn't think we were going to make it. We felt we'd been sent to death row, that it was all over for us." That's from 2 Corinthians 1:9. That's from the Message Bible. But haven't you ever felt that way? But then Paul went on to say, as it turned out, it was the best thing that could have happened. Instead of trusting in our own strength, our own wits to get out of it, we were forced to trust God totally. Not a bad idea, since he's the God who raises the dead. You know what? If God can raise a dead person, then he can raise a dead marriage. If God can raise a dead person, he can raise a dead career. If God can raise a dead person, he can raise a dead dream. Anybody can bring good out of good, but God can bring good out of bad. He can do miracles. He specializes in turning crucifixions into resurrections. But here's the thing: you gotta ask him for help. You notice that Paul says that they trusted God fully. Paul's talking about total surrender. It's not partial surrender where you say, my finances are in a mess, so I'm going to give God my finances. You've got to give him all of your life. Or this relationship isn't working out anymore, so I'm just going to give it to God. You have to give God all of your life. You've got to put everything into his hands. Maybe you've done this. Have you ever come to a point in your life where you said, everything in my life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the rotten, the happy, the sad, the ups, the downs, I'll put it all in your hands, God. Don't wait until you hit bottom. Sometimes we're so obstinate that God has to lay us flat on our back so that we can look up to Him. There's an easy way and there's a hard way to do things. The easy way is to see the light. The hard way is to feel the heat. The problem is that most of us rarely change our feelings, or we rarely change at all until our fear of change is exceeded by the pain. And then when the pain gets so great, we go, oh, I've got to get some help. Don't get to that place where everything has to drop out in your life for you to admit that you need help. Just go ask God for help. Why do you think God wants you to ask Him for help when He already knows what you need? Well, so that He can bring you to that point of total surrender. It's not until you actually ask for help that you really admit that you need it. Here's the thing. For us to get totally surrendered, Christ must increase and we must decrease. The reason that God doesn't answer us sometimes is very simply we get in the way. We tend to be of the opinion, or we have this philosophy that if you want it done right, you'd have to do it yourself. And I'm as guilty of that as anybody. We have to make room in our lives for God to work, to let Him work. So this morning, I'm going to ask you, what areas in your life need work? Or maybe I should say, what areas in your life do you need to ask for help? Consider it a joy, my friends, that you need help, because it is then that you are blessed. You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God and His rule. Matthew chapter 3, or chapter 5, verse 3 from the Message Bible. You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God and His rule. I'm Pastor Mark. Love you guys. Be safe, be well, be blessed, be strong. Go do something for Jesus. I'll see you tomorrow.